Hello and welcome to NA Regional Finals, Day 1, Game number 2. Enjoy.
Too deep of a look at this carousel, Crowan, is that when I take a look at the interview that Bryce gave out, one of his questions was, what item do you prefer to start off with, and why? 5 of the players in this lobby are favoring Sword as their first pick.
Yep, and Rain is the one that gets it. Love those carousel mechanics there, as Rain's lean is usually going to be towards a soul fin that we did see a little bit of in Lobby A Game 1. But Rain starting off with a lobby win. Last game it was with the Aoshin Dragonmancer. Ooh. Not something that players are going to be trying to cap their boards off, because it's kind of pretty much universally thought that Aurelion Sol is the higher cap, but still nice to know that if you're in the spot where Aoshin is the only option, it can still get the job done. Yeah,
I definitely think the Dragonmancer spatula is a huge difference to that as well. And one of the biggest things I think to point out from Rainplosion's perspective is the dominant performances that she had during the Cups. These were absolute breakout shines that took place. And of course, I have this horrible memory of not realizing that Soraka 3's animation on the cast was going to be quite as decisive as it was, because it was just, and then it's over.
Yep, exactly. Just a snap, and what happened? Yeah, I don't know. But no, Rain, I believe, has said that, yeah, she's going to be going for a Soraka 3 reroll. It's a pretty good strategy, so trying to do it yet again.
I mean, I reroll 5 costs as well. You don't.
Hey, I think that's the next level for Kyvix as well, rerolling 2 and 3 costs, but eventually he's going to get to a point where he's rerolling 5 costs.
A lot of gold here.
Oh, a ton,
as well as the 3 items here. So for Rainplosion, looking like a pretty strong start. Just a couple of things missing here, and 3 completely different directions. Snap takes better together as the first
Of course. Why wouldn't you? Better together is pretty good. It doesn't quite give the Protector's Vow, which was pretty OP in previous patches. It gives a Locket, but still Locket is an item that's universally been seen as a good early game item to preserve HP. Even if you're not win streaking and looking at Rain's spot, this is not a win streak spot, but it's going to be one that can maybe get a unit or 2 kill, maybe be in a spot like we saw in Lobby A that Milk or Sox was in, just hopefully able to come back from it.
Yeah, better together with an Astral opening here. You have a strong economy to lead things off, but again, it's the lost streaks I feel like that were not at a favor unless you just have to take them. There's no other way. I saw Goobums and Kurum go up to level 4 to kick things off. Rainplosion going to level 4 says, I do want the bruisers in play. Yes, I do think health is important.
Yep. And it is choosing not to econ, where she could have. And hey, it might be to her benefit going up against Pocky, who is only on level 3. Scoped weapons, the pickup there as well, but no shimmer skill online. And it's only the Nasus that Pocky is missing, so hopefully can get that next couple of shops. But look at on the bench there as well for Pocky. That's a double Yone scope weapons picked up. We know the direction here, Admirable.
Yeah, we're on Warlords here as well, too. Yeah. I think this is one of the stronger ones from that Yone perspective. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to creativity and ways to find the line that gets to that spot, I feel like Pokygom is just one of the strongest ones that you can pick in the world.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Pocky's so good there. Warlords, the only thing that's maybe not great about Pocky's spot here is that he's going for a bit of a loss streak. And you don't get those Warlord sacks quite as quickly. There is the Nasus, however.
I like how it's checked and everyone else comes to check. Yeah. He's like, oh, no, you can't see it yet.
Free information, please. Let's see, Pocky. This is going to be the Gambler's Blade on the Volibear. Can be played level 4, level up here for Pocky.
Dipped out of the Yone as well.
Yeah. Oh, they're right. Did sell one.
I mean, it's hard to go that route with the the Shimmer Scale Bruiser online here, as well as the scope weapons. It feels like you have so many opportunities, and just you can revisit the Yone as well. You don't have to have it early to find that perspective. It's like, hey, come back later. Maybe we'll still be here.
Yeah, interesting to drop it though. Could have sold one of the other units, I guess, valuing the Malphite pair, valuing perhaps the set 2 potential to get Dragonmancer, and then to have your Volibear be a bit stronger there. Every single unit on the bench is useful right now, unfortunately. Farming, a couple gold there. Okay, love to see it for Pocky, especially out of an inconsistent gold generation item from the Shimmer Scale, such as Gambler's Blade. Oh, there's already okay, maybe we're seeing a little bit more perspective here. I think that was another Yone 2 on their board, so maybe does not want to play it contested, because Soju peak form right now, and Shirley is showing us why with the Yone 2 already at stage 2.
Tiamat as well. I mean, it's pretty much spelled out at this point.
True.
And I think a lot of the perspective to look at from this patch is that if you can find your direction early and it's pretty strong, that is like a favorable spot in this metagame right now. It's like you have the line defined, you're going to be preserving your health, you're going to be pressuring other players. The less time they have, the less chance they have to beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Tiamat is an interesting augment, though. I think in the Dragon Cup, Cass and I were kind of memeing about, you know, tactics.tools and what the augment Tiamat says in terms of where it's ranked. And it wasn't that high. I think the average placement was like 4.99 if memory serves correctly. Maybe that's changed here. And sure, you can say, tactics.tools is not really worth it when you come into, you know, the best of the best and how all these niche situations and how powerful it's actually going to be. But certainly not a widely seen as strong augment there here for Soju.
Yeah, Soju going to be dancing on the win-loss perspective now. Kurum pretty strong board with the built different.
Oh, already level 5.
Strong on the build, the strength of the built different as well. Yeah, built different got buffed technically throughout its scaling because you can't pick up 2 of them anymore.
Yep.
It doesn't stack. So how strong is that right now? You know, it's been pretty hard to identify, I think, just because it shows up so rarely.
Yeah. I think that was one of my first 100 HP victories. I got triple built different in one of my games in set 6.
Yeah, that was why they nerfed it, I heard.
Yeah. But no, I can't do it quite anymore. Couple players on 100 HP right now, Kurum and Goobums. Kurum did not have a good start to the day, if I remember correctly. Bottom 2 finish, and sometimes Kurum does get a little bit in his own head if he starts off pretty poorly, but hopefully can kind of bounce back after that last one. Oh, Sohm already being the pickup. That's the power of being level 5 already, as you get access to these 4-cost units, or, you know, 7 cost. We're talking about the dragons.
The built diff, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to be picking it up.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there are some rare exceptions to this. It's like having Guild in play, having some Guardians in play. That stuff can be real, but you pretty much just want to stack a bunch of different units that attack pretty strong as a general measure. It's like you're getting so much attack speed from it. You have like a natural front line that gets built because of the extra health. Like how much more do you really need? 2-star units feel great right now.
Exactly. Build different, not a thing that people are that practiced on, right? You only get it in very specific scenarios, and you don't want to take it to the end game unless you have build different 2 or 3. But think about the units that are good with it. Things like Graves, like Neela as well. They don't have any, you know, sharing traits there, so if we can get online with that later on, would be strong.
You can stick a Xayah in play at some point.
Yeah,
it's like
Xayah
you have
as well.
so many AD perspectives to work with on this one. It is really about hitting those and making sure that your life total is high. Going to sell to make 10 gold here on a 4 streak.
Yep.
And if you get one more win, that's a 20 gold 5 streak, and that is just a massive lead over the lobby, I feel like.
Yeah, I wonder the percentage. Like, say if Kurum loses a streak here, how much is percent chance of top 4ing goes down? It must be so high, actually, but Kurum, hopefully, with good positioning where the Rengar is going to jump, can make the difference in this fight. The Zyra as well. Even though it's still early game, Zyra is still a very high impact when it comes to CC units.
Yeah, benefits a lot off of the build different as well. You know, the whole strength of Zyra is going to be multiple casts.
Yep.
So the faster that's attacking, the more casts you're going to get. But that Volibear finds the Ezreal right off the bat.
Not great here for Kurum. Is it going to make the difference? It looks like it is, actually. Gambler's Blade farming gold as well off of Kurum. The streak looks like it's coming to an end, and all of a sudden, that percentage chance to win into top 4 goes drastically down there. It's not doomed for Kurum. Just would have liked to see that win come through.
Bertosaurus, the only player on the hot streak as we go into Krugs.
Yeah.
And that is a 4 win that Bertosaurus is going to be on. And look at Dace's board here, kicking off with a Guild Emblem and a Rage Blade. Like, this is looking fantastic as the AD perspective from Dace's side.
Yeah, Dace is a very interesting player when it comes to set 7. Has some kind of back and forth performances. Got to the final day of Jade Cup, but got day one out of mid set. So see if he's able to stabilize when it comes to the lack of consistency. Certainly a good start in this game, even being on that 5 loss streak. 50 gold, level 5, right? 60 HP is still not bad, and going the vertical guild direction. I think there's definitely some options here, especially when we think about what synergizes well with guilds. The Deja, throw a Rage Blade on that's already built. There's some outs here for Dace, so I wouldn't be too worried about him yet.
Interesting on the item choice here as well. Do you want to slam a Stone Plate and have an extra rod? Or do you want to slam an Ionic Spark and open up some windows?
Yeah, both are viable. actually. But so I guess the option is, what are you building for? You want to build for power right now, or do you want to build for a bit of power later? Ionoc's going to be a decent amount of power right now, and it looks like Dace leveling up to 6, still going to be able to be nearly 50 gold. Not quite there, but still very, very rich right now. Might go for the current power instead of later on.
Wow, this board just looks so strong right now. Like
It is.
Who's going to contest this set? This goes for Stoneplate as well. Don't blame them. You know, you're going to need a front line at some point, and the earlier the front line is, kind of the better it is. It gives you more flexible options, gives you a strength to keep that win streak going, and that's exactly what Dace wants to, that's exactly where Dace wants to go right now, is start that win streak up. It takes a bit to get there, but boy, is this team looking strong right now.
It is. Dace, even though the 3 units in the back line were all lined up for Zyra, still good enough to take the win. Kurum, 20 gold, level 5, still losing, not looking great from that spot, but Dace snaps the streak, turns it around.
Silver augment here on 3-2, so not one to write home about, but still an inflection point of the game. You're going to need something strong to go from here. And when I look at Dace's board here, I am pretty heavily favoring the idea of combat augment versus level 9 gold.
Yeah, level 9, 45 gold. I mean, it's great if you have like such a massive, massive win streak to open the game. They'd really consider that in. But if you're, you know, lower HP like Dace was, I don't really think you can justify going for that. But Soju,
I feel like this kind of solidifies the point.
Featherweights.
Yeah, with the featherweights here, it's driving home the idea of this Yone right now. You have the RFC built on here as well with the Hand of Justice. Like, this is absolutely feeling like that we are hard dedicated to this composition right now.
There's still only 3 Yones, however, and Soju doesn't have that much gold to work with. Bench is pretty full, but going to be selling back up to 20. Soju, his tournament history has been a little all over the place. When it comes to a few sets ago, he's actually shored that up in the past couple of sets, right? Getting to the final day out of pretty much every single event, especially, like was mentioned earlier, in regionals, he really pops off. He really kind of puts the pedal to the metal here, and didn't quite get a great start in the last game, but not bad. 5 points on the board. Wow, the Volibear is all over the place.
I love seeing Volibear just stand like what feels like the entire distance away and just slam your team from that spot. It feels like a Pokegam spot every single time. It's like, what's happening here? Okay, yeah, Volibear's in the back line attacking everything. Makes sense.
Yep. There you go. Nice little dance right there to flex on him as well. Love to see it.
Bertosaurus sitting with the Astral in play. Pretty decent augments as well. You're getting extra AP and armor in the front line, and the Electro just, it seems like it's never a bad augment to be taking. It feels like this always makes an impact to the game somehow.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's going to be not, you know, anything to write home about, kind of as you were saying, especially with all the silver tier augments, but still going to be solid in terms of that board power. Bert, a player that's had really good tournament placements across all of set 7. I believe got a 5th, a 6th, and a 2nd is actually in the mid set, which is how he qualified for the regional finals. Bert's set 7 tournaments, I mean, makes sense why he's here and one of the favorites.
I mean, it feels like this was the comeback, too. You know, Bert kind of stepped back in set number 6, had a very strong set number 5, but he just didn't find that complete closeout of all the tournaments that were there. Stepped back in set 6, and in set 7, it's been a comeback right now.
Oh, yeah.
Bertosaurus has just absolutely been shining in this one. It feels like Regionals is absolutely a spotlight where this could just pop off.
Exactly so. I would not be surprised at all to see Bert here on the final day, but we still got competition for the next couple to get through. Bert, 3 Swift shots. Probably not going to get up to anything like we saw Ramble in game number 1 with 5 Swift shots, but hey, I would like to see it though.
Bertosaurus, I want to say too, feels like they're in a pretty decent spot to go with the Seraphine composition there. Like, you have a Zeke's in place, you have kind of the right items going forward. You know, you have a pretty healthy life total that's going on with a decent gold count. It's, you know, everything's kind of lining up to be in that, okay, well, let's just get a Graves on the board and make sure that we stay at a high life total and find ourselves in the top 4.
Yeah, Bert's certainly comfortable with that Seraphine line as well, so he's going to be comfortable in playing for it since, you know, committing to it on 2-1, because a lot of players really want to be committing to their comp on 2-1. They don't want to be kind of wishy-washy, be like, oh, what direction am I going when you get to, you know, end of stage 3, when you get to Treasure Dragon. You want to have it planned out, because again, going for that HP preservation or having direction is kind of where the meta really leans in TFT right now. So as we take a look at Degrees board, another Shimmer Scale player, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of those admirable Shimmer Scales, Volibears, Zeeks all around.
I'm liking the double trouble here as well. You know, sometimes it's important to cut back on it. So seeing that second Olaf hit the bench, I was like, you know, this feels right to me. Get the extra synergies in play and take advantage of the the double trouble that's holding all your items right now.
Exactly. Even though the other Volibear is going to be just kind of there for fun. No, the double trouble is really good. Volibear versus Volibear on both sides here. Pockies, though, has a lot of attacks through the scoped weapons. The RFC, the Shiv, look at him go. He's already farmed 2 gold. Can we make it 3? 3, please? RNG? Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow.
And getting the win. Pocky Gom.
The
Oh,
rich
I love
get
to see
richer.
it. Exactly. Not even the augment.
Ooh, Deja showing up this early on as well. That's a pretty healthy
Wow.
direction.
Aurelian Soul in the shop as well for Dace. Not picking it up, of course. Deja is the direction with Formirage. 6 guild already online. Oh, the items are fantastic as well.
Paranunu's? I am loving this spot from Dace right now. I don't
So
think that the
good.
health total's too grand at the moment, but you're at 49 gold. You have already the Deja in play. You have wonderful items for this.
Yeah.
Like, are you sticking to this line or are you going a different direction? Like, everything feels like this is great for Dace.
All the pieces are lined up here. The only thing to do is 2-star some units, push some levels, and kind of just pray that Deja does the job. Deja's a composition that very much can do that. It's a comp that's on a lot of players' radars as one of these strong ones, kind of right up there with the Soifens, with the Seraphine Graves. Dace in a fantastic spot, especially like you called out Admirable, the Warlord's Honor. As soon as you can stack that all the way up, it's going to be that much better as well.
I will say that Seraphine feels like one of the compositions that can fight against this. And looking at Rainplosion's side, it feels like that's the direction they're going. And it looks like 100 on the Lagoon stack coming into the Stage 3 creep round. And that is a pretty big difference here, but you can see why this Deja is such a dangerous unit from the other player's perspective. The Rage Blade just builds it up, and with that guild plus the Hextech Gunblade, you have so much strength being dealt out amongst your team.
Yep. Get the Omni Vamp there, and the guild, or excuse me, the Gunblade as well to be getting you that life steal, attack speed as well, just everything there. That's why guild is such a good emblem on the Deja.
Seeing Goobums on the hot streak right now.
Yeah. 92 HP, streaking fully. Wolves rounds going to be important for a lot of players, but not that important for Dace actually, because a lot of the items that he needs are kind of already there.
I noticed that Dace didn't take the Nunu pair as well here, favoring the gold.
Valued gold? Oh, Nunu will come back.
Wow.
Or
Oh, wow!
what?
That is
Zippy,
huge! My gosh!
Can slam the Hodge on it as well. Let's talk about didn't even need any good items to come through, but gets one regardless. The game's playing itself for Dace right now.
It's like the Exiles, too, is favoring this style of play so much. It's like the fewer units you have in play, the more flexibility you have on your position.
Yeah.
And the Exiles really shores that up from that spot
True.
here. It just, again, like you said, it feels like Dace's board is just, it's being dealt to him right now.
Yeah, it very much is. And this is a great spot, especially if you're coming off of an 8th place, 1 point there for Dace. Not a good spot after game 1, but having the game kind of play itself for you really gives you a good mental reset point where you can be like, all right, we have a good game. Let's just hope that we can carry this through. Love to see it.
The biggest thing I look at from high rolls is not only do they need to show up for you to win a tournament, but you have to be able to capitalize on them as well.
Exactly.
To me, that's really the big one. I've high rolled a ton of games and absolutely blown them before, and we've really seen just about everyone do it. Having the consistency of capitalizing on that is a key factor to winning these tournaments at such high stakes.
Yeah, especially like you said, high stakes, a very, very powerful phrase right now, because oftentimes in tournaments like the regional finals, players are going to be over-rolling, saying, oh, I really don't want to go out in 8th right now, so I'm going to spend a bit too much, not get to the point where they're playing on ladder that they can get to these super high-end level 8, level 9 capped out boards.
Wow.
See how much patience Dace can have.
Where do you go with this? Like, everything feels like it has an impact right now. You have Exiles, so the extra health from the Cybernetic, the Axiom Arc being favored from the Deja side, re-rolling here, finding another Cyber, a Celestial Blessing, a Scoped Weapons. All of these feel viable right now.
And that they do. We saw every single Cyber choice, and it is going to be Cyber as well. But I don't know if this is necessarily that great here for Dace, because the mana generation on Deja, sure, the casts are going to be big, they're going to be powerful, but there's no scaling like with an Archangels, right? It's going to be a lot of attacks, but a lot of attacks coming through very quickly with the kind of auto-attack focused Rage Blade here of the Deja.
This was an interesting level up and roll a couple times here. It was pretty late into the round. And for me, the Cybernetic uplink is saying, like, you intend to maybe go a different direction with this. Like, say you found an Aurelian Soul right now, say that you found an Alshin, are you willing to take that route?
I mean, if it's not going to be like an Aoshin or Aurelion Soul 2, it's really hard to justify it. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier to find the Deja 2. I don't believe it's very contested, at least from what we've seen. That might have been Dace kind of pulling the trigger a little bit too quickly. Maybe, like I was talking about, feeling a bit of that pressure, not over-rolling, but leveling up a bit too quickly, a bit too ahead of where tempo suggests that you should.
Ooh, Bertosaurus hitting the Deja 2. We're seeing a Zyra 2 from an Implosion spot. Goobum's taking a hit in that last round, cracking the win streak. All right, it's feeling like the calm before the storm at this point right now. You know, we're on 4-3, and Soju is still at level 6, and I'm seeing a Yone 3 here, and this just feels like, yeah, why not camp out for a bit? Let's build up the gold and keep going. Your team is strong enough to fight from here.
Yeah, it should be Yone 3 at this point as well. I was a little bit concerned for Soju. Last time we saw him only had the 3 Yones that he still had from stage 2, but has found it, still has a respectable gold amount. The Yone items are pretty good. Generally, Rage Blade is what you want, but has the featherweights to kind of shore up that lack of attack speed from no Rage Blade.
Gambler's Blade kind of playing that role right now.
Exactly. Going up against Rain, who has 3 items that are really good on just a Kaise 1 in the backline. I think it's a matter of time before Yone gets to the backline, starts chopping away at pretty much everything.
Look at this.
Takes it down.
Hold it down too.
Yeah, it's only Idas 1 Sunfire, but still holding it down, as you're saying.
Idas is just, it feels like such a strong unit right now because a lot of the damage isn't necessarily burst. So that shield and the heal across the team, plus the additional attack speed, it really is a huge momentum shift in the middle of the combat for the round.
Yeah, exactly. Someone go tell Cassie to get these spatulas back on, because we got him again for stage 4 carousel.
Seeing a Zoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Any Shimmer Scale emblems, perhaps? Probably not, but we can hope.
My first one is like, oh, Zoe with a spatula? Mage.
I like, no, I love go full Shimmer, 9
you're
Shimmer.
Like it's Pocky Gob. It's gotta be Shimmers.
I mean, hey, can you blame me though? There's already, I mean, look at the augment.
It does feel like it's the direction he's going.
Actually, yeah, this is going to be a Shimmer direction, I think, from Pocky.
Is that a pay-to-win augment?
Yeah.
What?
Oh boy, I love Pocky and seeing Pocky play. This is, oh, okay, finds Zaya too. Is gonna be playing that instead. I just want to see their Shimmer slammed.
Rainplosion cracking the tome here as well, finding a Mystic in it. Honestly, I feel like that's a lot of the lobby read at that point. It's just,
there it is.
Sometimes that Mystic is just going to change the game. Degree here with Dark Flight, and that's a pretty big Swain that's holding the line there. I am not certain that Pocky chews through this in time.
I don't think so, but it's okay. Pocky is scaling. Determined Investor is online right now. Did, in fact, slam the sword to make a Shimmer Scale emblem. Pop the spat off the Zoe. Going to lose this round, like, as you're saying, right? 4 loss streak. Pocky might be in a bit of trouble, especially when going up against Degree's Dark Flights there. And Dark Flights aren't a comp we've talked too much about, but they can be very, very scary, especially at this point in the game where you got your Rengars fully built out, online, doing tons of damage, and already has the Swain too there.
Ooh. Parazia's getting found.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for Pocky as well. Like, we didn't really talk too much about it, but this was a lot of, like, you know, the primary units not being 2-starred. I felt like was a really big difference in that one. Honestly, it could have been the entire difference of the last fight.
Yeah.
5 Zayas now that are picked up.
I don't know if this is really a spot where Pocky can be thinking about going for Zaya or Volibear 3, however.
Well, you have the Diamond Hands coming up with the champion duplicator that you're going to get from that.
7 more rounds to get there, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious that that item wasn't unequipped, and then put back on at the critical timing there. It's such a tiny little thing, but that can be a big difference. When I start to see this, it definitely feels like Volibear 2 was a massive upgrade for this board, and I feel like Pocky now is in a spot where they can actually potentially flesh this out in the right order.
Is Pocky get punished though, like you're saying, not taking the item off of Zoe? So yeah, that's -1 stack. It's looking like, unless Deja can help out Pocky Gom. Okay,
Pocky
never
Gom,
punish.
He just gets it. Wait, is the Zaya not enough? Oh my goodness!
I guess punished, actually, a little bit.
Okay, interesting there. Pocky sitting at the bottom of the lobby with 27. So it's a pretty tight lobby, I think, from top to bottom here. We're looking at 59 from Kurum, all the way down to 27 at the bottom. That's pretty close, I think, all things considered. We've seen these giant gaps oftentimes as we reach the Treasure Dragon here.
Not that large of a gap, but large considerations to make for Pocky.
Plus a Jeweled Gauntlet being offered? Plus a Stone Plate for your front line?
That has to be tempting, but there's no units right now that can really make utilize the JGIE combo that well.
Whoa.
I mean, you could put it on Zoe, but she's just a Zoe 1, no mana generation items. There's an Itis, there's potential.
I think this could be a really big deal. He's
9.
got 7
He's got
seconds
9.
to flesh this out, though.
He's got the 9 Shimmer. This needs to put the extra Shimmer on the bench, onto the Bard, and there's going to be the Crown of Champions coming in after that.
Whoa, this is a really big deal. So how do you actually like shape this one out? Is this the board that you want to have right now?
It has to be, right? Where else could Pocky go from here?
Well, the Bard is the one difference that can be made as a difference.
Well, yeah,
Soraka going to come in and says,
sure.
"I want the extra HP for this." Like the
Oh,
HP on your legend, not on your team.
All right, Pocky, you gotta stop being dizzy. Gotta start putting some items here. Stoneplay on the Itis, Sunfire as well. Titans needs to go somewhere. IE needs to go somewhere. There's so much that still has to happen. But the Crown of Champions, where did it even go? It got
went
on a unit
Soraka at the start.
It went on a unit that died pretty much instantly.
That's the Siphon. You know, I don't know if the placing the items would have been that big of a difference in this particular matchup, but that certainly can be a big difference.
Oh, Pocky.
Like, even if it just cuts the damage that you're taking, that's a big deal.
It has to be, right? It's just a game of inches when we get to this late game stage 5 TFT where there's just 2 or 4 HP, could save you a placement, could save you like tiebreakers making it to the next day. So much on the line here for Pocky. Crown of Champions on the Soraka, as you mentioned. Another Volibear 2, but cannot justify buying it. Too far away from the Volibear 3. Still rolling down, hoping to find some upgrades. Zoe 2, Yasuo 2. The Xayahs probably should go as well, because Xayah 3 is a bit too far out of reach. Admirable. Pocky, there's so many decisions to be made, but they're just not happening. They're not coming through. Still more item components on the bench as well.
I don't know if this is like the items you want to have from this spot. It's really tough to say.
Oh, there it is. JGIE.
I'm so afraid of this Deja just wiping the board right now.
Every Soraka auto attack.
No.
It's going to delete a unit once it gets the 5 stacks. There it goes.
That's a big diff. The Xayah got
again?
saved for just a couple attacks, but again, the Deja I think is just too powerful right now.
There we go, but no, not going to be able to get to stacking again. And Pocky, 9 Shimmer scale to 8th place.
Bertosaurus next on the chopping block alongside Rainplosion in this one. And honestly, I'm pretty surprised when I look at this. Rainplosion's board looking pretty strong right now. This is at the bottom.
Well, Pocky at the bottom, but you know, at the next coming.
My goodness, like
this is crazy.
This feels so tough.
6 Guardians. Not often the players reach this breakpoint. Has 2 Mystics online as well through that Mystic emblem. Aurelion Soul 2. How did Rain get here? Aurelion Soul, talking about the dragon that is best in slot, can carry you to some first place wins. Triple Zeeks buffing up as well with Better Together. Oh, let's just watch this Aurelion Soul Admiral. It's going to be beautiful.
It's against the Yone 3 though on the other side. Jeweled Lotus stacking with that Infinity Edge as well. Aurelion Soul just not clipping the Yone.
Yeah, not yet.
There we go. That's
right
a
now.
hit. That's a big one.
Needs one more.
I think that's just barely enough. The 6 Guardian holding out until this black hole has grown to a massive effect.
One more? Auto attacks do it.
Soju taking the hit. Bertosaurus out in 7th place. Dace and Kurum sitting at the top with some hot streaks right now.
Oh, full dragon carousel. More guardian emblems to consider as well.
The rare assassin emblem showing up as well. Can this make a difference on anyone's board? We saw Darkflight.
That's true. Generally, Darkflight is okay with running 2, but Degree
bolted.
It. Okay.
For that assassin emblem.
Love to see that one.
Okay, I am really looking forward to how this is going to look. That's an Itis 2. That's a Nasus 2. Your board is upgraded now.
Some good hits.
Not quite certain what the last roll was necessarily, but
for fun. No, this board is phenomenal, though. Everything is upgraded. Rain has 6 Guardians to buy so much time for the Aurelion Soul. It will delete entire boards, get enough time, and time is the biggest thing that Rain has right now with this board.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really all you need. The more time this Aurelion Soul has, the less likely it is your opponent's going to be able to defeat it. But that is a board to be going up against. Holy smokes, that is a lot of Jade. That's a little bootleg Aurelion Soul on the other side right now. The Siphon not quite to the backline spot you want it to be. And that's giving the Aurelion Soul time. Really not good on that last black hole piece, though. The Siphon now charging in.
Wow, can't do it.
Wow.
Rain.
The Siphon board. It's just too much at a certain point. Raid Implosion going out in 6th place here. Soju taking a big hit as well. Kurum and Dace still on the win streaks.
Wow. That Rain board, I really expected to be strong enough to top 4 in this lobby, but so many other people just have strong boards as well. The 3 Hodges over here on Goobum's side. And this is the tech where you can play Aurelion Sol as a 3rd dragon and have it shore up the weaknesses of Xiaoyu and Siphon, because they're just single target. They might grief you sometimes, but Aurelion Sol could be there applying Morellas to everything and have the supplemental damage that this board needs.
I'm really... Oh, there's these
Dark Flights.
Assassin Graves.
Assassin Darkflight Graves.
Whoa! Yo, that's a pretty big difference
Yeah.
to how this Graves is going to work, but I feel like
Can it do
Goobum's
anything?
positioning was pretty good for this.
Very good for it.
There's the charge, picks off the Swain,
Swain
and
goes
that's
down.
usually enough in this spot. There's no way that Graves has taken down the rest of these units right now. Granted, that is against the Ghosts, but it looks like Soju out in 5th place.
Yep.
Dace's win streak has been cracked, and Kurum kind of demonstrating exactly how they get to this spot in regionals and do so consistently every single time. Strong early game, strong mid game, and says, you know what, if you can't cap your board, I'm going to push you out of the lobby.
Exactly. Strong fundamentals for Kurum. Kurum, when playing from ahead and playing from this win streak point, is able to convert so well and so often.
Oh, look at that. Really quick on the stacks
Yeah.
for the preparation here as well. Again, these
Love
little
it.
tiny fundamental differences.
Prep's such a good augment. So many TFT players are so good at utilizing that now. When it's going to be making, you know, these masters and GM players a little bit dizzy, the best of the best are going to be able to make it just look so good. Get the max value out of it every single time using PvE rounds to make sure you get the stacks that you missed earlier.
Up to 9.
There we go, up to 9. Aurelion Sol pair. Can you hit Aurelion Sol 2? There's the Rakan 2.
Yeah, the Mystic difference. I feel like that's going to be a big one here.
Still strong.
Wow, pretty big change to the board here in this round as well.
0 gold left, but still, the HP for Goobums is safe. Not scared about being eliminated in the next couple of rounds. Has time to get this Aurelion Sol online. But look at Kurum's board here.
Wow.
Still the built different, running 2 Varuses, running the Graves, like I talked about earlier, as one of the best built different carries. This is built different being played at pretty much its peak, I would say.
And this is 8 Varus that Kurum has. I'm seeing 2 more on the bench. Like, this could be an absolute pop-off. Goobum's taking a hit.
Big hit.
Look at that. The Graves of the Assassin emblem just brings... it's very rare that I have been in favor of Assassins, but when you can't just force the emblem through, it feels like it's a lot more heartwarming to see.
Oh, there it is. Aurelion Sol 2 needs to find the gold, has exact amount to sell, and tier up the Aurelion Sol Goobums is so much stronger. If we replay that last fight against Kurum, Aurelion Sol 2 could have made the difference. Kurum still on the 8 Varuses, as we see on the bot right of the screen. No gold left to roll.
Just picking up every unit that feels like it could make an impact.
Yeah.
Up against the Deja 2. So this lineup for Dace feels like it was cemented in place pretty early.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that shaped out the board. Now, Dace sitting at 9 here with no gold left. It's really just, can you find upgrades from where you're at right now? You know, that's just a hit or miss position at that point. It is really, you know, the Exile's kind of limiting your factor there as well. And I'm seeing this Aurelion Sol in the back line. This is certainly not something that I would have expected. Holding a Jade emblem, and it feels like it could be enough here. The Xiaoyu drawing the attention, the Black Hole having the time to become a massive force in this spot. I definitely didn't expect to see a Jade emblem Morello Aurelion Sol making a difference.
If we think back to the carousel, the dragon carousel, I believe that's where Goobums picked it up, the Jade emblem on the Aurelion Sol. So it was identifying that spot from all the way back there and said, yes, this can be exactly what I need. And is doing it so quite well as you move over to Degree. Double Trouble Rengar 3, i.e. Hand of Justice. Still going to be buffed up by a lot of Zeeks as well.
The Swains with the twin posse. It's just like, what a board to be seeing right now. It's like, you are giving up some of the Dark Flight value here, but that's the thing you have to do at the end of the game. You want that third item to just be strength at the end of it, and you are hoping this Rengar and this Graves can take down the back line in time to punch through that front line afterwards. The Rengar, though, just getting absolutely pushed out, not even close, and the Swain just not holding the attention from the Graves at that point, and now Degree getting collapsed on.
Degree can't do it. Goobums does. Degree gonna be falling out in 4th place here, but a valiant effort in this lobby. Top 4 Dark Flights is not too shabby at all.
Kurum still on the win streak. This is through stage 6.
Whew.
Stage 5, stage 6 has belonged to Kurum.
That's crazy, considering that this is when the built different boards you'd expect to lose a little bit. It's only a gold built different, right? You haven't hit the Varus 3, but still it is good enough. Kurum in such a good spot right now, takes the Zeeks off of the carousel. It was a BT and a Shroud for the others.
I mean, is this where that buff from Built Different really makes the, takes the shine in a spot like this?
Yeah.
It's, because I agree with you on the old one, I definitely expected to kind of start to fall off in this perspective, but that buff, is it enough to make sure that it can shine through in these spots?
The answer is looking to be yes, Admirable. I mean, kind of nowhere else to slice it. Goobums BT goes on to the Aurelion Soul. It's going to come down to a lot of where this Shroud goes, and if Aurelion Soul has enough time against the 8 Guild Deja from Dace.
Ooh. I see that front line from the Jace there, and it's like, can you get through this one in time? The Siphon, I think, really going to be one of the stars of this lineup in this fight right now. The Jace not able to hold for too long in this spot, still kind of just barely hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
The Siphon now has found the contact with the Deja, and that's enough for that one. Goobums absolutely shining through in this fight right now.
Yes, he is. Takes out Dace out in 3rd, but Kurum, 10 streak.
And the improvement is like literally it's level or it's Varus 3.
Yeah. At this point, because Kurum's been rolling for a long time, we're going to start talking about, has he rolled too much? Has he over-rolled, but maybe just exactly enough?
Big importance, too, there to put the Zephyr on the bench before you make that Varus 3. Still in a peak mindset is there as well. You can't just be too excited to slam that. That Zephyr could have been captured. Got
to remember your fundamentals there. And Kurum is not scared, is not feeling the jitters here in this hyper situation. He's been here before. Kurum is a regionals winner.
Cheese
Zephyr
showcased
here.
Available as well. Oh, this Varus just feels like it is absolutely popping through. The CC onto these units feels like it could be a big deal, but Goobum's board's just so strong.
The Siphon gets to the Varus in the back line, nearly one-shots it. Going to be dashing away, however, giving the Varus more time, but no, the Aurelion Soul.
Graves
Can't do it.
The king can bleed. Kurum takes his first loss in 11 rounds.
Kurum.
Both players with a Giant Slayer here as well. Yeah. It's what it feels like they need for each other right now.
Exactly. They're both Giants, and they both need slaying. But where is it going to go? Surely the Shioyu for Goobums. But for
Terra
Kurum,
being found.
Yeah. Get to think about how we're able to get this to a 4-dragon board. The most capped that can be. Goobums already won the last round. It's going to continue to get even stronger. Kurum might not have the time to get level 9 or to get things like the Graves 3.
Nyla 2.
Another Nyla 2. 3 Nylas away.
Oh boy.
Yeah, both are on the board.
Is that a real option? The second Hecarim? Is it ever a recraft to cheese the Zephyr?
It very much could be. In fact, it should be. Sells the Hecarim on board? Or no, just plays the 2. Both viable options, but the CC is nice. The CC might be able to give enough time for the Varus and Graves to get the job done.
Last second positioning as well.
Zephyr.
Dragon's Claw being moved over.
Zephyr just lands on the Jax. Not the best.
I think he just wanted the front line to be open so that the Varus isn't missing. Doesn't want it to focus the Jax right away.
True.
Oh, and look at where the Siphon lands. Again. Cracks through 3/4 of the HP, but the Varus isn't gone just yet.
It's one more auto attack from the Siphon. Yes, it's going to be so close yet again, but Goobums comes out on top of that fight. Stage 7, so the damage from that stage is going to be massive. 15 plus whatever units are there.
It's tough to beat the 10 of 10 from the other side. It's just it's such a big difference at this point. Honestly, you can't be too upset with a second place finish, but I think from Kerm's angle, this actually might be one of those spots where it does feel that way.
Yeah, exactly. Especially going back to the consideration of, did Kerm roll too much? Should Kerm have saved that gold, been comfortable with that 10 streak, gone to level 9, and had a bigger cap on this board? Maybe it could have contested Goobums here. Might be having to be satisfied with the second, however.
The Shroud hits the Varus again, too. I don't think it's a huge deal, but that can be a big difference.
Yeah.
The Siphon not finding its way onto Varus right away, that maybe can be a difference, but the rest of the board just got collapsed onto this one. Goobums absolutely shining through on how to cap out a board.
Goobums with a victory march in the last 3 rounds is going to take Game 2 Lobby C against Kerm.